So we have two very special guests with us this morning. I went to school with Reverend Don Barton, so he knows all of my fears and secrets and desires and loves, and he's going to be speaking with you as our main speaker today, and his spouse Craig is with him. So give him a big Unity of Palm Harbor welcome. And if you ever wonder if the mothership is real, he's the treasurer. So there you go. We do have a headquarters. So something else I want to share with you guys. Last week, we had such a special blessing up here. And what came to me for the month of June, I really want to feel into that sacred space of love. And in 1 Corinthians, it talks about, and the greatest of these is love. So that's what our focus is going to be in the entire month of June, because we are going to be alive with our own endorphins sharing our love. So here we go. Oh, come on, you want to smile. As Gabriel Nelson says, come join the fun. I want to see your smiles. It raises our endorphins, creates our dopamines. Come and knock on our door. Who knows Three's Company? There you go. We've been waiting for you. Come on, release those endorphins. Here you go. Who does it better? Who does it better? You recognize these beautiful ladies. Serotonin, what? All right, y'all know our president. Are we there yet? 20 seconds of smiling. Show me your pearly whites. Here we go. I said, what would make me happy? Pasta. Bring on those dopamines. See my daughter in the background? Who's with me? Pick me. Reverend Don says, pick me. And who do we know here? If not Greg and Marie, right. We are with you, and us too, and count us in. These are some of our regulars. So how do you feel now? I feel good. I knew that I would now. So good. So good. So welcome to Unity of Palm Harbor, and now we are filled with love.
Please join me in this time of meditation. I invite you to put your feet flat on the ground, square up your hips and your shoulders. If you're comfortable, close your eyes or simply lower your gaze. Rest your hands in your lap. Set aside anything that you're holding on to, physically, mentally, or spiritually, and simply breathe into this present moment. Take a deep breath in through your nose and let out through your mouth. And just become present to right here, right now, so that we can allow that busy mind to slow. We can allow our attention and our intention to move from that head space down into our heart space. With each breath, we see ourselves becoming calm, centered, as we travel inward to that stillness within. In this heart space, we are loved, we are safe, we are at peace, and we are whole. In this heart space, we reunite and reconnect and re-remember that we are one with the divine. That the divine love present in and throughout this universe comes in and through us into this world. Divine love manifests in and through me in this moment. See yourselves with each inhale drawing in more of the divine. See that heart space as a warm, glowing light. With each intake of that divine love, see that light within you expand and grow and brighten. See the light and feel the warmth in the center of your being of divine, pure love. With each breath, it grows and fills your chest. See that light emanating throughout your being, filling your torso, traveling down your arms and your legs to the top of your head, as you are a complete and whole expression of divine love. As that divine love continues to well up within you, see it seeping out through the very pores of your beings, that your body glows with the divine. This flow of divine love cannot be contained, and it expands and grows around you. Connecting with the divine love coming from those to your right, to your left, in front of you and back of you. See it permeating the floor, hitting the ceiling, filling the space. Divine love in every cell of your being, expanding out into the universe. We all are divine love. We exist in this flow of receiving and giving. Allow that light, that love, that warmth from those around you in the room to envelop you, to mingle with your divine love. And in a moment of silence, simply experience love. I am divine love. I am divine love. I am divine love. The power of divine love flows in and through me, manifesting in my thoughts, my words, my actions. I see love in others. I express love through me. I allow the love of others in any form and shape and size to flow through to me. I choose the experience of love. I choose the power of love. I am divine love in this moment, for this hour, during this day, and throughout this lifetime. And so it is, and so I am. Amen. So good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Reverend Don Barton, and I am so pleased to be here. You know, I don't usually wear a stole when I do a talk, but I wanted to wear this one today because y'all are starting your inaugural season into your participation in the Gay Pride Month. So it's incredible that you're doing that. It's long overdue for some of you and a stretch and something new for some of you, and that's okay. That's okay, because we're all here to grow. And I specifically wore this one because I want to do a little history, a little learning, a little sharing, and this one has the rainbow on it. And you'll see that all through Gay Pride Month rainbow. So I'm going to tie that in spiritually, believe it or not. Because the rainbow is actually what happens to white light when it goes through a prism, and it splits into its component parts. And the only way that you can get pristine, pure white is if you have all of the colors present. You can't just say, oh, I like these 3 colors, and get white when you need it. You're missing out. This doesn't happen unless you have all of it. You need each of the components of all the colors and all its variations, the whole spectrum of colors, to get pure white. And for me, and for, I think, the gay community, it's a symbol of humanity. Because I believe that unless you can see and be a part of and welcome every spectrum of how humanity shows up in the world, then you don't get it in its purest form. You don't see the whole picture. You don't get that pure, divine idea of humanity. And that's what's manifesting in our world. It's the divine idea of humanness, of people. And everything divine is love. So we have to be able to look at every idea, every manifestation, every expression of love in the world, the whole spectrum of how it shows up, if we really want to experience pure divine love. We can't pick and choose where we want to see it or how we want to see it. We have to take it all of divine love. Because God is everywhere present, right? Omniscience, omnipresence. God is omnipresent. God is love. Love is everywhere. So if love is everywhere, and we want to experience pure divine love, we have to experience all of divine love, everywhere present. Recognize it, look for it, and choose to be a part of it. Not deny that it exists or disapprove of it. So God actually goes through creation, most theologians will say, because God is love trying to express and experience itself. Divine love comes into creation and manifests because divine love wants to experience divine love. It can only do that through creation. And so it's created into right now some 7 billion different examples of humanity, plus all of nature and the whole universe. So there's all these varieties and examples of divine love. And do we want to not experience any of it? Because if God is manifesting itself in all of these varieties of examples of divine love, then he has to approve of every single one of them. Because how could God disapprove of part of himself, herself, itself? God can't. That would be like you saying, oh, nice finger, but I hate it. It's sinful. It needs to be punished. You can't do that. It's part of your wholeness. God, as love, expressing as love, has to approve of that love when it's expressed. There's no other option. There's no other option. So keep that in the back of your mind. Think, is that really possible? And my answer is yes, because God told me. God told me. My personal expression of love, God said was okay. Now, you may not believe in visions, but I'm going to explain to you a vision that I had years ago, and I very rarely told this story, but it helps sometimes. So I was in a meditation when meditation was new to me years ago in the early 90s, and this minister walked us through this meditation and said, imagine yourself in this balloon and let yourself just rise up into the clouds. And so I did. I closed my eyes, and it just got really real. And as I'm rising up, he's like, we're going to experience your vision, your version of the divine. And I realized in this meditation, in this vision, my then partner at the time, Craig, was next to me. And I remember in the vision going, you're not supposed to be here. But he stayed. And so we both took this balloon ride up, and the minister said, imagine your version of God walking across the clouds and coming to you. Okay. And just ask him, what message do you have? I said, okay. Just sat there in the silence. And my vision, which wouldn't be your vision or your version of what the divine is, approached us in a simple gesture, wrapped its arms around us, and hugged both of us. And I knew in the moment, in the core of my being, that the divine, my vision of God, was okay with us. I knew it. I knew it. I had been raised Catholic, and there was nothing good about this in Catholicism, let me tell you. I had to leave that faith. But in that moment, God told me, I approve. This is good. You're good. And I was changed forever. So you believe in visions or not, I do now. I was skeptical that people actually had visions, but I believe that now. So God approves of all variations of love. And if we want to have a fuller experience of that full, complete divine love, we have to make sure we're open to it too, and not shut out ourselves from those experiences and those examples of love and those times where we can experience it in the world. And sometimes we do it with three things: judgment, it's unexpected, and fear. And judgment's the bad one, because when you judge something wrong or bad or not right or evil, what you do is shut down your ability to experience love. You don't shut down theirs. Whoever, whatever you judge as bad, wrong, evil, or sinful, they still are experiencing love. You simply have rejected the love that's present and are now incapable of participating in that expression of divine love. Do we want to do that? Do we want to shut ourselves down from that? Because you need to be in the flow of that divine love. And you don't need that other person to love you either. You can be the conduit of a one-sided flow of love when you're non-judgmental. Imagine a judge in a courtroom. If someone's in front of him and he says with judgment and hate and fear what you deserve, as opposed to bringing love and saying, what do you need? What brought you to this place? What do you need so that you don't end up here again? And bring love into it, someplace that it wasn't. We have to not miss out on love because it's not coming in the way we expect it to come. When we had been together for 6 years, we had tried all kinds of avenues to have children. We looked at all the expected, normal ways. We looked at adoption. We're in Florida. This was last century. We've been together 34 years, so this was last century. In 1997, we finally gave up and said, adoption, surrogacy, international adoption, it's not going to work for us, especially here in Florida. But we had that love for family within us needing to express. But all the expected ways were shut down to us. And then a family member who was, for a variety of reasons, in a really complicated and bad place in her life, young, got pregnant, couldn't terminate, wouldn't do it. Didn't want to give it away to strangers, couldn't do it. And we had always wanted children. So she called her dad and said, do you think Uncle Craig and Uncle Don would want to adopt my baby? That was unexpected. But divine love found a way to get to us, and we thought, oh, we want children. How are we going to get children? But we said yes. And she said, great. And then she called back and said, twins? And we said yes. And divine love came in and through us and created a loving family. And when the babies were born in this small town in Ohio, we were not welcome there by many people, a lot of the nurses. But then love showed up in a couple of the nurses. And one nurse especially, her name was Emmy. She got to be really good friends with us. She took care of us. She made sure we had everything we needed because she saw us there every 4 hours during feedings. One of our daughters was born 5 pounds, 7 ounces. She was released the next day. The other one was 4 pounds, 12 ounces. She had to stay till she reached 5 pounds. So one of us was there every 4 hours for the feeding, and it was getting really cumbersome. It was getting real complicated. And finally, Emmy said, I need to fix this for you. She said, you make arrangements to go back to Florida. You need to go home. You need to have your family intact. And she said, when that doctor comes in tomorrow morning, that baby will weigh 5 pounds after I weigh it. So they did all the waiting at 2 o'clock in the morning for some reason. I don't know why, whatever. But the next morning, the doctor came in and read her chart, and miraculously, she had gained 4 ounces, and she was 5 pounds, 2 ounces. So we took her home that day. And we came home and we had our family. But we were in that flow of divine love, and it was coming in and through us, and we shared it with the nurses in that hospital, and we could only be ourselves. But that's how divine love works. And we stayed in contact with that nurse, Emmy. And you know, about 10 or 15 years, 12 years later, she called us. She said, I need you. She said, I have twins. We knew she had twins. She goes, one of my boys came out to us. What do I do? What do we do? Just talk. So we met with them and had some conversations and just calmed their fears and say, okay, this is new territory for you. But we were able to return that love in a different form that she had given to us when we needed it. Totally unexpected forms of love flowing in and out of our lives. We didn't see it coming into our life from her, and she didn't see it coming from us, but we were there for her when she needed it. So you have to be open to these unexpected places where love is going to show up in your life, and it's not going to look like anything you've seen before. But don't miss out. Don't miss out, because love is love is love is love is love is love is love. It doesn't change what it is. It just changes how you get it, where you see it, how you get to experience it. And the final thing I don't want you to miss out on love for is out of fear. Don't miss out on the experience of divine love because you're scared or you're afraid. Step into it. Be bold. Go where you're uncomfortable. My father passed away about 20 years ago, and I was working as a CPA here over in Orlando, and I got a phone call from my sister who said, my dad had been ill for a long time with a lot of different things, and she said, Dad's had enough. He said he's done. He said he was taking fistfuls of pills 3 times a day to make everything work in his body, and he wasn't getting any better. He was just suffering. He's not doing that anymore. She said the doctor said they don't know how long it'll take if he stops taking his meds. So I went to Ohio, got on a plane, flew up there, went there. I got there on a Monday night. Tuesday morning, I was in there seeing him, and they said, okay, we're sending you home with hospice. And I got in the ambulance with him, and I went home with him, and I have 6 brothers and sisters who were all there in Cincinnati. And they went back to work. They had to. And I was there with my mom and my dad, and he was dying. And I was scared to death. I was petrified. How am I going to do this? What do we do? I don't know how to do this. I would be on the phone to a friend of mine who worked with the AIDS community years ago, and I'd be like, okay, what happens when somebody dies? He's just here, and what do we do, and what do I look for? And it was horrifying for me at the beginning. But I stuck with it, and that was on Tuesday morning. On Friday morning, my father waited until all 7 of his children were in the room with my mother, and all of us were sitting around his bed when he decided to pass. And let me tell you, that was the most incredible experience of love that I'd ever had to that point. It was a version of divine love and closeness and intimacy in a family that really is kind of beyond words. But if I had gone with my fear, if I had stepped back, if I had said, I can't do this, someone else has to, I would have missed it. I would have missed that last week of being there with him, taking care of him, being with my mom as we worked together to meet his needs. And I sat on the edge of his bed and held his hand and talked to him as I saw the last heartbeat happen in his jugular vein. And it was incredible. And it was sad, but it was so loving to be there as a family through that moment as he left. And he was at peace. And we all had different relationships with my father, all 7 of us kids. But in that room was love, and love is love is love is love is love is love in every one of its forms, plus my mother's relationship with him. And I wouldn't have missed it for the world. And I'm so glad I was there, and I'm so glad each one of them was there. But fear could have stopped me. Don't let fear stop you from stepping forward into a situation where you may have an experience of love that could change your life. It could change your life because you need every aspect of love in your lives to get the fullest expression of the pure divine love. So in closing, I want to just bring this to your attention, that it's your choice. It's your choice. You get to choose this. You get to choose to look out into the world and either be afraid or be judgmental or to look only in the expected places. Or you can say, if love is 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 love, then wherever it is, whatever it is, however it is, whenever it is, however it shows up, it is love. It is love. Don't miss it. Amen.